Now, you would think that waters this high, Bill, would be troubling, but residents here in Vassar tell me this is nothing. They remember a time when you couldn't drive your car down Main Street. You actually needed a boat. We just got word not too long ago that the body found yesterday is that of 45-year-old Lee Swanson. Police say she died of a gunshot wound. Swanson was last seen on November 16th when she went out on a date with a man she met online. Now, when police went to that man's house to investigate, they found a 28-year-old suicide victim. Now, police are left to investigate whether the suicide victim could be Swanson's killer. Day 2 here out at Bay City. I am on board the Dennis Sullivan, and as you mentioned, Bill, it's the first day that folks have been able to get on board the boat and check it out up close. They tell me that on this ship in particular, there were 2,088 people who walked on board, and that's just today. Now, the ships sailed in yesterday, 10 of them. Today is the first big day for families and people visiting. I spoke with many spectators from around mid-Michigan, others traveling quite a distance to take in the sights, some coming from overseas to actually work the event. Bill, police say that the 19-year-old victim was shot in the shoulder while waiting to get inside this lounge right behind me here. When nearby business owners showed up a short time later this morning, they say this parking lot was covered in broken glass, beer bottles. They say they've had enough. Meantime, the folks inside the lounge at the time of the shooting, they say they don't plan on coming back. That's right, Bill. Residents here in Midland are just concerned with cleaning up. I want you to take a look behind me. This is actually a park. Hard to believe, but the Tittabawassee River is spilling over, and it's not expected to stop until later tonight. That's when the National Weather Service says it's expected to crest around just over 27 feet. Luckily, the fire did not spread to nearby apartment buildings, but residents in those buildings tell me that the smoke was heavy enough that it woke them up when they were fast asleep. Well, Bill, the claims involve prostitution, embezzled funds, and violations of the Whistleblower Protection Act. Schreiner's saying that a former employee is accused of taking funds. Meanwhile, he says he was fired for a completely different reason. And you can just feel the excitement that you're talking about, Eric. The fans here so excited, but we spoke with businesses earlier today who are just as thrilled that all these fans are coming to downtown Midland. Now, Bill, of course, in addition to coming on board the ships, you can also taste great food. There's been music everywhere, tons of things going on all weekend long, and we have you covered all weekend long as well. We'll be out at all the events through Sunday. For now, live in Bay City, Captain Shannon, back to you, Bill. Well, Bill, it was a day of honor and remembrance here at the Capitol today. People hearing the stories of those who have passed on and witnessing a true American hero.
It's one of the most moving things I've ever been involved in.
The halls of the state capitol echoing the sounds of bagpipes and draped in red, white, and blue. All to remember Michigan's 9 fallen service members over the past year.
Joseph Lilly, United States Army.
Their ultimate sacrifice, something Thursday's keynote speaker can relate to. Army Staff Sergeant Travis Mills is a Vassar native. He lost both arms and legs during his 3rd deployment in Afghanistan. At Thursday's Memorial Day service, he addressed the teary-eyed family members of Michigan's fallen.
I know what they're going through, the families up there, because the brotherhood and the bonds you make in any military service.
Sergeant Mills speaking from his heart, but not without his coined sense of humor.
I joined Toastmasters just to try to work on not saying,
Laughs aside, Travis's story of strength and resilience is the inspiration behind a bill sponsored by Senator Mike Green. Senate Bill 209 would establish a tax exemption for veteran fundraisers.
One of the guys from the VSO was there and told Travis's story, and he had almost had the whole committee crying. The chairman told me afterwards, I'd have given that kid anything he wants.
Sergeant Mills plans to continue giving of himself, allowing his new normal to inspire and reach out to others. When you drive into the small town of Coleman, it's hard to miss this sign, recognizing the storied baseball and softball teams at Coleman High.
Our athletic program, especially in baseball and softball, has always done very, very well.
But Tuesday's performance is one for the record books.
It's probably our biggest win, yes.
Oh, I've gotten a lot of hugs and handshakes and congratulations, and I feel a little uncomfortable with it, but at the same time you feel good.
JV baseball coach Tom Pashik is being hailed a hero.
I think I definitely did the right thing. I don't know if I'm willing to say heroic.
But his actions on the way to a game in McBain are being called heroic.
We were driving down 66 and all of a sudden a car swerved off the road, went through a wooden picket fence and into the pond.
He, along with 2 softball coaches, called 911. Then
We asked if he could get out and he said he couldn't, so we knew at that point we had to get in.
they pulled the man to safety, all of it caught on cell phone video by watchful student athletes.
When we got on the bus, they were all applauding.
But the victorious tale does not end there.
We went on and got 2 wins, so very happy with that.
The story spread like wildfire, community members embracing the coaches, students, and bus drivers' quick action.
Acted extraordinarily under really amazing circumstances, and they truly saved a life.
Well, Bill, prosecutors are calling this the worst case of child abuse they've ever seen in the county, which is why they're using Dominic's Law to prosecute Eric Macklin. He's the man accused of fracturing a 2-year-old's skull. Pinwheels twirling in the wind, spreading a silent message to passersby in Shiawassee County.
You have to protect the people that can't protect themselves, and that's the children.
April is National Child Abuse Awareness Month. The Child Advocacy Center is working to educate the community about the crime.
Child abuse is an issue that a lot of people would like to pretend isn't out there. And unfortunately, it is out there. It is a real issue in every community.
It's currently an issue county prosecutors are working on. They've charged a man in what they call one of the worst cases of child abuse they've ever seen. Eric Macklin faces first-degree child abuse after officials say a 2-year-old boy suffered a fractured skull while in Macklin's care. For the first time in the county, prosecutors are using newly passed Dominic's Law. Macklin faces life in prison.
I hope they put him in jail forever and throw the key away.
As prosecutors work to seek justice for the 2-year-old victim, child advocates want people to know they can make a difference. It's a peaceful place for remembrance, 50 acres in Flint dedicated to those who have passed on. The markers and headstones mean a great deal to those who put them there.
These are our memories. This is all we have left.
So it came as a surprise to cemetery manager Ted Jordan that someone would steal something of such sentimental value.
When they come out and to see this, it's disgusting.
On April 22nd, Jordan, who did not wish to go on camera, noticed a bronze grave marker was missing. Since then, he's noticed 9 more are gone. To him, it's personal.
And the person who came in and did what they did, they came into my yard.
To the families who have loved ones buried at Gracelawn, it's hard to believe.
And when they come out and they see that the markers are gone, are missing, I mean, it's an emotional thing for the families.
Ramonica Hampton often visits her brother and father's grave sites. She's emotional at the thought of someone taking away that memory.
For somebody to come out and destroy it, oh my God, I'm sorry.
I don't know what they're doing. I suspect that they're probably taking them to a scrapyard.
But for the families who the thefts affect, you can't put a price tag on these memories.
What goes on in the dark always comes out in the light. It's just a matter of time.
1.4 million Michiganders are expected to hit the roads this weekend. That on top of more than 100 construction projects, and it can make driving a little tricky. But MDOT has a plan in place hoping to ease the traveling headache. Fire officials say an arson problem continues in the city after 2 fires were set within a short amount of time overnight. And good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brittany Shannon. We start in Saginaw, where a fire engulfs a building just feet away from the historic Potter Street train station. A person of interest is in custody in the murder of a 26-year-old man whose body was found at a Flint trailer park. Mount Morris Township Police say Christopher Cole's body was found at the Elms Mobile Home Park Wednesday afternoon. Cole had been reported missing in Mount Morris Township Monday night. Well, still ahead, cue those awes because beautiful babies are to come. They were in Birch Run today. Who walked away with the baby crown? Well, we'll tell you ahead. Well, the home of the first Corvettes to hit the road is celebrating 60 years of tradition. The Flint Assembly Plant is honoring Chevrolet's flagship sports car in the lot where Michiganders once assembled the hot rod. Corvette faithfuls cruised together today from Flint to Detroit. Drivers describe the relationship with their vets as being personal.